I want to talk to you today about something that may be the single most important truth you will ever learn, something that can change your life permanently if you will take it seriously and act upon it. You see, our minds are the most powerful instruments we will ever possess, more potent than any machine, any technology, or any invention in human history. The mind is the command center of our entire experience. Everything you will ever do, become, or accomplish begins first as a thought, a quiet idea in the fertile soil of your imagination. Yet so many people drift through life as though they are passengers in their own minds, never seizing the wheel, never deciding what kind of thoughts will dominate and shape their destiny. I want you to understand right now that the greatest secret of success is also the strangest in its simplicity. It is this: we become what we think about. If you can remember nothing else from what I say today, remember that. We become what we think about. So before we go further, I'd like you to do one simple thing for me. If you're finding value in this message so far, if you're the kind of person who knows that your mind is worth mastering, then do yourself a favor. Like this video and subscribe. It's a small act of commitment to yourself, to your own growth, and to keeping these vital truths close at hand. By doing so, you're making a promise to keep learning, to stay accountable, to keep these ideas alive in your daily life. Now let's examine why this truth is so often overlooked. Our world is full of distractions. We are bombarded by noise, by advertising, by the relentless rush of other people's expectations. And because of this, most people never stop to realize that they have a choice in what they think. They let circumstance dictate their thoughts. They let fear, doubt, gossip, negativity, and worry become the default programming in their minds. But this is no accident. There is a simple reason why so few people succeed and so many remain in frustration. The truth is, it's easier to think negatively than positively. It's easier to surrender to worry than to command your thoughts toward purpose. But ease has never been the measure of what is worthwhile. The real measure is discipline. I want you to imagine your mind as a vast, fertile field. The soil will grow anything you plant, poison or harvest, weeds or wheat, failure or success. The soil doesn't care. It will return to you exactly what you plant. As the law says, as you sow, so shall you reap. If you plant seeds of fear, you will reap fear. If you plant seeds of confusion, you will live in confusion. But if you deliberately choose to plant seeds of purpose, courage, gratitude, and clear goals, then those will be the harvest you enjoy. This is not philosophy. It is the unbreakable law of the human mind. Think for a moment about what you have been planting. Has it been weeds or wheat? Has it been fear or faith? Understand now that you have always been the farmer, even if you didn't know it. Now I want to give you a challenge, a way to test this truth for yourself. I want you to write down in clear, specific terms the one thing you want most in life right now. Just one. Don't make it vague. Make it so clear you could describe it to a stranger in a single sentence. Then I want you to carry that written goal with you. Look at it every morning when you rise and every night before you sleep. Let it be the first thing you think about in the morning, and the last thing at night. Imagine yourself as already having it. Picture it in detail. Feel the satisfaction of having achieved it. See, when you hold an idea in your mind consistently with faith and conviction, you activate forces far greater than you may realize. Your actions will start aligning with your goal. Your habits will shift. Your energy will change, and life itself will begin to move to accommodate your vision. But this is not magic. It is work. It is the work of thinking. It is the work of discipline. You must be willing to fight off the weeds, to guard your mind against doubt and fear. When negative thoughts come, and they will, you must replace them with the positive, deliberate thought of your goal. You must say to yourself, no, this is not the crop I am planting. I refuse to water the weeds. Instead, feed your vision. Nurture your faith. Persist even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. This is what separates the 5% who succeed from the 95% who conform and drift without purpose. And let me tell you this, you cannot fail if you do this. Not because I say so, but because it is a law, just as real as gravity. If you think in positive, purposeful terms, if you hold your goal in your mind and act in accordance with it, you will move toward it without fail. So today I want you to commit to this law. I want you to say it aloud. Say it in the comments. Make it your mantra. I command my mind to create my future. I am focused, disciplined, and destined to succeed. This is your law. This is your declaration of mastery. Don't just listen, speak it, claim it, write it down, repeat it until it becomes part of you. Because the truth is simple. It is as old as wisdom itself. We become what we think about. If you think success, you will move toward success. If you think failure, you will move toward failure. This is your power. This is your responsibility. And it begins the moment you choose. Choose now. Choose to command your mind. Choose to speak these words until they are real in your life. Say them as often as you need, because your mind is listening. Your future is listening, and it will obey. I want you to understand something crucial as we continue this journey together. The mind does not work in isolation. It is constantly influenced, molded, and shaped by the environment you allow around you. This is the second essential habit for shaping your future forever. Choose your environment deliberately. Most people don't even consider this. They drift into jobs, friend groups, habits, and daily routines that were never consciously chosen. And then they wonder why their results look exactly like everyone else's. The truth is, environment is not neutral. It is either helping you or hurting you. It is either reinforcing your purpose or distracting you from it. And if you want to succeed, you must take responsibility for curating the people, places, and ideas you let into your world. Think for a moment about your circle of influence. Who do you talk to every day? What kinds of conversations do you have? Do they lift you up, challenge you, and remind you of your potential? Or do they dwell in gossip, complaint, smallness, and fear? You cannot plant seeds of greatness in soil poisoned by negativity. If you want to change your life, you must begin by changing your environment. That might mean distancing yourself from certain people. It might mean finding new mentors, new friends, new sources of inspiration. It might mean replacing television time with study. It might mean turning off the noise of social media and opening a book that feeds your mind. Remember, you become what you think about, but what you think about is often a reflection of who you let close to you. Now, before we continue, let's pause and make this practical. If you're finding this message resonates with you, if you're serious about surrounding yourself with ideas and voices that push you to grow, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Because what you feed your mind matters. And if you want to keep this kind of thinking close at hand, you need to make space for it in your daily routine. Treat this commitment as the first step in reshaping your environment. By choosing to listen to truth, to discipline, to wisdom, you are already doing what most people never will. I want you to understand how powerful environment really is. Studies have shown that our habits, our attitudes, even our levels of ambition are heavily influenced by the people around us. If you spend time with those who make excuses, you will find yourself making excuses. If you spend time with those who dream big, act boldly, and hold themselves accountable, you will find yourself doing the same. It is like osmosis for the mind. The environment seeps in, unseen but undeniable. This is why the great philosopher Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This is not poetic, it is measurable reality. And so I ask you now, who are your 5? Write down their names. Evaluate them honestly. Are they helping you become who you want to be, or are they holding you back? This exercise can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary. You see, life is too short to surround yourself with people who do not believe in your vision. It is too precious to spend time with those who drain your energy, mock your dreams, or encourage you to settle. You owe it to yourself and to the people who depend on you to create an environment that pushes you to rise. This is not about arrogance or superiority. It is about stewardship of your potential. And make no mistake, you are responsible for that stewardship. Now let me tell you something you may not want to hear. Changing your environment can be hard. It may mean saying no to invitations. It may mean spending more time alone in study and reflection. It may mean enduring criticism from those who don't understand. But this is the price of growth. The masses avoid this price because they fear being alone or judged, and so they remain stuck in mediocrity, comforted by the familiar but denied the extraordinary. You cannot have both. You must choose. And if you choose greatness, you must be willing to prune your environment the way a gardener prunes a tree, to remove what is diseased or dead, so that what is healthy can thrive. Think of the most successful people you know or have read about. Without exception, they created environments that supported their goals. They surrounded themselves with mentors. They read the best books. They spent time with those who challenged them to think bigger. They guarded their time and their attention. They were intentional about every influence. They understood that the environment is the silent architect of destiny, and you can do the same. But it starts with a decision, a simple, clear, uncompromising decision. I will choose my environment. I will choose what I let into my mind. So today, I want you to commit to this second habit. I want you to make it real by declaring it out loud. Say it in the comments if you're serious about making it part of your life. I choose an environment that builds my dreams. I reject negativity. I surround myself with strength, hope, and possibility. Speak it, write it, claim it, because when you say it, you begin to think it, and when you think it, you begin to live it. Remember, environment is not neutral. It will shape you whether you choose or not. So choose. Your life is your responsibility. Your mind is your responsibility. And the company you keep is your responsibility. This is the second law of shaping your future forever. As you choose your environment, so you choose your destiny. Make that choice today. You must understand that no amount of wishing, hoping, or dreaming will bring you lasting success unless it is joined with decisive, consistent action. This is the third timeless rule for a prosperous mind. Act deliberately every day toward your chosen goal. Action is the bridge between thought and reality. Without it, all your planning and intention is like a blueprint that never becomes a building. Many people deceive themselves into thinking they are moving forward because they are busy. But busyness is not the same as progress. True progress comes from focused, purposeful, intelligent action aligned with your highest goal. When you take deliberate action, you turn ideas into results. You convert potential into performance. You bring the invisible into the visible world. And you begin to separate yourself from the vast majority who merely talk about what they will do someday. Someday is a lie. There is only today. And what you choose to do with it defines you. The prosperous mind understands this and chooses not to waste time. It understands that time is the one resource that can never be renewed. Money lost can be earned again. Opportunities missed can sometimes return. But time wasted is gone forever. And so the disciplined person treats time with reverence, choosing action over delay. Now let's make this personal. I want you to think about the one goal you hold in your mind right now, the one you've written on your card, the one you've chosen to focus on. Ask yourself honestly, what did I do today to move closer to this goal? What will I do tomorrow? This is the test of sincerity. You see, the mind that dreams but does not act is like a farmer who plans his harvest but never plants the seed. He may have the richest soil, the best tools, and the perfect weather, but he will reap nothing. Action is the seed of achievement, and you must plant it every day. This is why I urge you to plan your day before it begins. Set your priorities. Decide what is most important, and do it first. Refuse to be ruled by the urgent but unimportant tasks that steal your time and energy. Remember that saying yes to your highest goal may mean saying no to many other good things. This is the price of focus. The undisciplined mind is scattered. It tries to do too much and ends up doing nothing well. The disciplined mind chooses. It says, "This is my purpose. This is my path, and every day I will take one step on it." Consider the law of cause and effect. Every action you take creates a result. This is not a suggestion. It is a law. Just as every seed grows into a plant, every choice you make shapes your future. Choose laziness and you will reap regret. Choose discipline and you will reap freedom. Choose distraction and you will reap confusion. Choose focus and you will reap clarity. And so I challenge you now to take ownership of your actions, to stop blaming circumstances, to stop waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is only now. The present is the only place where action can live. Let me share with you a truth that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Successful people act even when they don't feel like it. They understand that feelings are fleeting, but commitment is lasting. They do not wait for motivation, they create it by moving forward. Action generates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence fuels further action. This is the virtuous cycle of achievement. But it starts with the first step, the first call, the first hour of study, the first attempt, and each day it begins anew. You may say to me, "But Earl, what if I fail?" And I will say to you, "Good, fail, learn, adjust, try again." Failure is not the enemy of success, it is its partner. Every great achievement was built on lessons learned from failure. The only true failure is refusing to act at all. The only real defeat is surrendering your power to choose. So I want you to make a promise to yourself today. Say it out loud, declare it in the comments for everyone to see. I XT daily toward my dreams. I refuse excuses. I embrace action. Because what you speak, you begin to believe, and what you believe, you begin to do. Finally, remember this: action is the proof of desire. If you truly want something, you will work for it. You will sacrifice for it. You will endure discomfort for it. Those who will not act do not truly want it. They merely wish for it. Wishing is cheap. Acting is priceless. And so as you go through this day and the next, let these words guide you. Do something, do it well, do it now. For this is the third rule of prosperity. Act deliberately every day toward your chosen goal. Make this rule part of you, and watch as your life transforms from one of wishes to one of accomplishments. If you've followed me this far, you understand that success is not an accident. It is the result of thoughts directed with purpose, of environments chosen with care, of actions taken with discipline. But there is another rule equally vital that separates those who truly prosper from those who merely survive. It is this: serve others generously and with excellence. This is the fourth timeless rule for a prosperous mind. Understand this well: all wealth, all opportunity, all advancement in life comes through other people. The money you want, the influence you seek, the respect you crave, they are all given to you by others in exchange for the value you provide. Most people get this backwards. They think when I have enough money, I'll do something meaningful, or when I get respect, then I'll act like a leader. But that is like sitting in front of a stove and saying, "Give me heat and then I'll add the wood." The world does not work that way. The law is simple and unbreakable. Give first, then receive. Sow first, then reap. Serve first, then prosper. Your rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to your service. And service does not mean servitude. It means using your gifts, your knowledge, your energy to solve problems for others, to make their lives better, to ease their burdens, or fulfill their desires. Think of the people you admire most. The successful entrepreneur who built a company that employs hundreds, the teacher who changes lives with her devotion, the doctor who heals, the artist who inspires. What do they have in common? They all serve. They have found a way to take what they know, what they love, what they can do better than most, and turn it into something others need and want. And they do it with care, with quality, with integrity. They do not cut corners. They do not see people as marks to be exploited, but as partners in mutual benefit. This is why they are rewarded, not by luck, but by law. Now let's make this real. Ask yourself, how am I serving? How am I making life better for those I encounter each day? It does not matter what your job is, whether you sweep floors or run a corporation. The question is the same. Am I doing this well? Am I doing this in a way that others value? If the answer is yes, you are sowing the seeds of your own prosperity. If the answer is no, then no plan, no goal, no wish will save you until you change that answer. Because you cannot break this law. You can only break yourself against it. Consider the idea of exceeding expectations. Most people do the minimum. They deliver what is required and no more. And then they wonder why they are overlooked, underpaid, unappreciated. The prosperous mind knows better. It asks, how can I do this better than expected? How can I surprise with quality, delight with service, stand out with care? Because when you exceed expectations, you build trust, you create loyalty, you become the person others think of first when opportunity arises. And over time, these small acts of excellence compound into a reputation that cannot be bought and cannot be faked. But let me be clear, serving generously does not mean being a doormat. It does not mean sacrificing your own well-being or letting others exploit you. True service is grounded in strength. It says, I will give my best because that is who I am. I will serve you well because I respect myself enough to do quality work. I will honor my own boundaries so that I can keep serving over the long term. This is the kind of service that builds empires, careers, families, and communities. It is the foundation of every lasting success story you will ever hear. If you want to know your future, look at your service. It is the surest predictor of your rewards. And so I invite you right now to make a commitment. Speak it out loud, write it down, share it in the comments. If you're ready to live it, I serve with excellence and generosity. I give more than I take. I earn the trust and reward of others. Make this your creed. Let it shape your decisions. Let it guide your work. Let it define how you show up in the world. Because as you sow, so shall you reap. And remember, you are not doing this for applause or ego. You are doing this because it is the right way to live. because it feels good to know you gave your best, because it builds character and self-respect, and yes, because it works. The world rewards the person who solves its problems. It elevates the person who eases its burdens. It enriches the person who enriches others. This is the fourth rule of a prosperous mind. Serve others generously and with excellence. Embrace it, live it, and you will never worry about success again. There is one final rule I want you to understand as we bring these ideas together, a rule that often separates those who achieve steady, lasting prosperity from those who see their success crumble at the first sign of challenge. It is this: cultivate emotional mastery. This is the fifth timeless rule for a prosperous mind. Because no matter how clear your thoughts, how well you choose your environment, how consistently you act, or how generously you serve, your emotions can either be your strongest ally or your most destructive enemy. Most people are slaves to their emotions. They let fear stop them from starting. They let anger ruin relationships. They let envy poison their attitude. They let doubt keep them small. And in doing so, they sabotage themselves again and again, blaming circumstances or others while refusing to see that the real enemy was always within. The prosperous mind understands this and refuses to give emotions unchecked power. It acknowledges them, studies them, learns from them, but never lets them dictate the final choice. This is not about suppressing your feelings, it is about guiding them. Imagine a skilled sailor on the open sea. The winds of emotion will always blow, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce. The sailor does not curse the wind. He does not deny it exists. He studies it. He uses it. He adjusts his sails to stay on course. This is how you must approach your emotions. You cannot ignore them. You must learn to understand them. Ask yourself, what is this feeling telling me? What fear is beneath this anger? What hope is beneath this worry? When you understand your emotions, you take away their power to control you. You become the captain of your soul. Consider fear. Fear has stopped more dreams than failure ever did. But fear is not your enemy. It is a signal. It tells you that you are about to step outside your comfort zone, that you are risking something meaningful. The prosperous mind does not flee from fear. It uses fear as a compass. It says, this is where I need to go, because on the other side of fear is growth. On the other side is freedom. And so when you feel fear, I want you to pause, breathe, and say to yourself, I am braver than my fears. I choose growth over comfort. Share it in the comments if you mean it. Anger is another powerful emotion. It can destroy or it can protect. Anger often hides hurt or injustice. The prosperous mind does not lash out blindly, but asks, what boundary was crossed? What value was violated? How can I respond in a way that defends what matters without causing harm? This is emotional mastery, not denying anger, but directing it, using it as energy for change, not destruction. In this way, even your fiercest emotions become servants of your purpose. Envy is perhaps the most subtle poison. It creeps in quietly when you see others succeed. It whispers lies that you are not enough. But the prosperous mind transforms envy into inspiration. When you see someone living the life you want, do not resent them. Study them, learn from them. Ask, what did they do that I can do? How can their success show me what is possible? This shift from envy to admiration is a mark of maturity. It turns a weakness into fuel. And then there is doubt. Doubt is the constant companion of ambition. Every new goal, every bold plan, every worthy dream will be met with doubt. The average person sees doubt as a stop sign, but the prosperous mind treats it as a question. What do I need to learn? What do I need to strengthen? How can I prepare better? Doubt is not a reason to quit. It is a reason to plan more carefully, to build stronger foundations, to prove to yourself that you are worthy of what you seek. Emotional mastery does not mean you never feel afraid, angry, envious, or doubtful. It means you refuse to let these feelings dictate your destiny. It means you feel them fully, understand them deeply, and choose your response wisely. This is what separates the leader from the follower, the victor from the victim. And so I invite you to make this promise to yourself today. Speak it aloud, write it down, share it in the comments if you're ready to claim it. I master my emotions. I use them to build, not destroy. I am the captain of my soul. Because in the end, you are not just building a career or a bank account. You are building a life. And the quality of that life will be determined not just by what you achieve, but by who you become in the process. A prosperous mind is not merely rich in money, it is rich in wisdom, in self-awareness, in calm strength. It faces storms without panic, opportunities without greed, relationships without manipulation. It is a mind at peace because it knows itself. And this is the fifth rule of prosperity: cultivate emotional mastery. Learn it, live it. And you will find that nothing outside of you can defeat the one who has mastered what is within. Now that you understand the 5 timeless rules for a prosperous mind, thinking deliberately, choosing your environment wisely, acting with purpose, serving with excellence, and mastering your emotions, I want to talk to you about how to bring these rules together into one unified force in your life. This is not a separate rule, but the practice that binds them all. It is the art of daily renewal, because knowledge alone is not enough. Good intentions alone are not enough. Lasting success is not the result of a single decision made once, but of countless decisions made day after day, moment after moment. Many people attend a seminar, read a book, or listen to a speech like this and feel inspired for a day. They say, "I will change." But inspiration without habit is like fire without fuel. It burns bright and dies quickly. The prosperous mind understands that real change happens slowly, quietly, over time through the power of habit. Your mind is like a garden. You cannot plant seeds once and expect a harvest forever. You must water them, weed them, tend them daily. This is the discipline most refuse, and it is why most live lives of quiet frustration. But not you. You are here because you want more. Let me share a truth you must accept if you are to succeed. You will forget, you will drift, you will fall back into old patterns if you do not remind yourself constantly of what you want and who you choose to be. This is not a personal failing, it is human nature. The world is filled with distractions and temptations designed to pull you away from your purpose. The only defense is daily renewal. It means reviewing your goals every morning. It means checking your thoughts throughout the day. It means reflecting every evening on what you did well and where you fell short. Daily renewal is your insurance policy against mediocrity. It is the difference between living intentionally and living reactively. When you wake up in the morning and read your goal card, you are not just repeating words, you are programming your mind. You are reminding yourself of your purpose before the world has a chance to impose its own agenda. When you reflect at night, you hold yourself accountable. You refuse to let days slip by unnoticed. You treat time as the precious, irreplaceable gift it is. Some will say, "But Earl, isn't this too much? Isn't it obsessive to think about your goals every day?" And I will tell you, no. It is necessary, because everything in life conspires to make you forget. Your own fears, your past failures, the doubts of others, the noise of the world, these will work tirelessly to make you settle, to make you conform, to make you quit. If you do not remind yourself of your purpose, you will forget it. And if you forget it, you will never achieve it. Let me ask you, would you trust a pilot who planned his route once and then never checked his instruments again? Would you trust a surgeon who read about a procedure once and never practiced it? Would you trust a business owner who set a strategy once and then ignored it? Of course not. Yet most people treat their own lives with this negligence. They set goals once a year and never look at them again. They make resolutions in January and forget them by February. The prosperous mind is different. It treats the goal as sacred. It returns to it daily. It feeds it. It strengthens it. So today, I want you to commit to daily renewal. I want you to promise yourself that you will take a few minutes every morning to read your goal, to see it in your mind's eye, to feel it as real. I want you to review your day every night, not to judge yourself harshly, but to learn, to adjust, to improve. And I want you to declare this promise out loud, write it down, share it in the comments if you're ready to make it real. I renew my purpose daily. I feed my goals every day. I grow stronger with every sunrise. Because in the end, success is not a destination, but a practice. It is not a prize you win once, but a life you build every day. And the person who understands this, who accepts the humble, patient discipline of daily renewal, will surpass the one who relies on talent alone. Because consistency beats brilliance when brilliance is inconsistent. Your future will be shaped not by what you do occasionally, but by what you do habitually. This is the way of the prosperous mind. Most people chase external results without doing the inner work. They want better jobs, more money, happier relationships, but they refuse to examine themselves. They blame the economy, their boss, their spouse, their parents, anything but their own thinking. and so they stay trapped, running in circles, solving the same problems over and over. The prosperous mind knows better. It knows that no lasting change is possible without inner change. If you want a better life, you must become a better person, not in the sense of moral superiority, but in the sense of greater awareness, deeper understanding, and stronger character. This is why I have always said, you become what you think about, not just in goals, but in the very substance of your being. If you think thoughts of fear, you become anxious. If you think thoughts of anger, you become bitter. If you think thoughts of gratitude, you become generous. If you think thoughts of confidence, you become courageous. The world around you will mirror back what you carry within you. This is not mystical, it is practical. People respond to your energy, your attitude, your expectations. Opportunities open or close based on how you show up. There is something else I want to share with you today, something that will deepen everything we've discussed so far. It's the understanding that prosperity, real prosperity, is not measured solely by money in the bank or possessions accumulated, but by the quality of your inner life. This is what I call the law of inner wealth, because the outer world you experience will always be a reflection of your inner world. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your character, these shape your circumstances more than any external factor. Let's talk about integrity. Integrity is the alignment between your inner values and your outer actions. It is the refusal to lie to yourself or others. It is the courage to keep your word, to do what is right, even when no one is watching. Integrity is the foundation of trust, and trust is the currency of every meaningful relationship, every lasting business, every real success. Without integrity, any success you achieve will be fragile, temporary, hollow. It will collapse at the first real challenge. But with integrity, even if you fail temporarily, you will rise again, because you will have built something real, something unshakable. And there is another dimension to inner wealth: gratitude. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling, it is a discipline, a lens through which you choose to see the world. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. It transforms obstacles into lessons. It turns strangers into friends. It replaces resentment with appreciation. The prosperous mind knows that no matter how much you achieve, without gratitude you will never feel wealthy. You will always hunger for more, driven by fear and comparison. But with gratitude, even modest success feels abundant. So I ask you now, what are you carrying within you? Are you cultivating thoughts that strengthen or weaken you? Are you feeding beliefs that empower you or limit you? Are you choosing interpretations of events that build your hope or deepen your despair? These are not small questions. They are the foundation of everything you will build, because you cannot create a prosperous outer life while maintaining a poor inner one. The two are linked inescapably. So, I invite you now to make this commitment. Say it out loud, write it down, share it in the comments if you're ready to own it. I cultivate inner wealth. I build gratitude, integrity, and strength. I create a life of real value. Because when you do, you will find that the outer rewards you seek begin to flow to you more naturally. You will draw people to you who share your values. You will spot opportunities that others miss. You will handle setbacks with resilience and grace. This is the truth I want you to carry with you. You cannot outperform your self-image. You cannot create outward success that exceeds your inner belief in your worth. If you want more, you must become more. Not in greed, but in growth. Not in arrogance, but in understanding. Not in taking from others, but in giving more of your best self. This is the essence of prosperity. It is not a destination you reach one day and declare, "I'm done." It is a lifelong journey of becoming, and the reward is not just what you get, but who you become in the process. So remember this rule of inner wealth. Return to it often, practice it daily, because as you grow within, you will naturally expand what is possible without. And you will discover that the greatest riches of all are not things you own, but qualities you embody. As we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to remember that none of these principles exist in isolation. They are not boxes to check or slogans to repeat mindlessly. They are living truths to be woven into the fabric of your daily life. Because the purpose of these 5 timeless rules is not to make you rich in the shallow sense, but to make you prosperous in the truest sense, to help you build a life of purpose, integrity, peace of mind, and genuine achievement. A life you can look back on without regret, knowing you gave your best and drew the best from those around you. True prosperity is not about luck. It is not about being in the right place at the right time. It is about being the right person in any place at any time. It is about cultivating the mind that sees opportunity where others see obstacle, the heart that loves and serves without resentment, the spirit that rises after every fall. It is about understanding that life will test you, that setbacks will come, that disappointment is inevitable, but defeat is optional. Because with the prosperous mind, you turn every difficulty into a lesson, every failure into feedback, every delay into preparation. You see, the world will always offer you an easy path, the path of blame, of complaint, of victimhood. It will tell you success is unfair, that the game is rigged, that there is no use trying. And many will listen to that lie because it absolves them of responsibility. But you know better. You know that responsibility is not a burden but a gift. Because once you accept that your life is yours to shape, you are free. Free to choose your thoughts, free to choose your environment, free to act deliberately, free to serve with excellence, free to master your emotions, free to renew yourself daily, free to grow in inner wealth. This freedom is the promise of these rules. But it is a promise that requires your commitment. You cannot merely hear these ideas once and expect your life to change. You must live them. You must practice them. You must return to them day after day, especially when you feel discouraged or overwhelmed, because mastery is built in repetition. Success is not an event but a process. It is the sum of small choices made consistently over time. And the greatest choice you will ever make is the choice to take responsibility for your own mind. Let me make one final request of you. Make this commitment now. Say it out loud. Write it down. Share it in the comments so that you not only hear it, but claim it. I am the architect of my life. I accept responsibility for my mind, my choices, and my destiny. Because when you speak these words, you take back your power. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You stop hoping for circumstances to change. You begin to see that the only change that matters is the change within you. And from there, everything else becomes possible. I want you to remember, too, that you are not alone on this path. Others have walked it before you. Great thinkers, builders, teachers, leaders, and quiet, humble people who chose to live with intention and integrity. Their lives stand as proof that these principles work, not because they are easy, but because they are true. And you can join them. You can become someone whose life inspires others, someone who raises the standard for what is possible. Someone who leaves the world better than you found it. And when you look back years from now, you will not measure your success only in dollars or titles or possessions. You will measure it in the lives you touched, in the problems you solved, in the strength you showed in adversity, in the calm you brought to chaos, in the example you set for your family, your friends, and your community. That is prosperity. That is legacy. That is what these rules are meant to help you create. So I ask you, as we end this time together, to choose this path deliberately. Don't drift, don't settle, don't forget. Choose every day to live by these rules. Because if you do, you will discover not only how to prosper in the world, but how to master yourself. And that is the greatest wealth any human being can possess. Now before you go, if this message has spoken to you, if you want to keep this wisdom alive in your life, I invite you to like, to subscribe, to share it with someone who needs to hear it. Spread the message, build the community, and help light the way for others. Together, let us choose to be the builders of our own lives.